Hello and welcome to West Coast Interviews. I'm your host, Paul Smith. With me today is Mary Jane Hours. How are you?
Fine, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing very good. This is my mom.
Hi.
We are just south of Seattle, Washington. We'll call it Seattle. My mother has flown in from Buffalo, and she's going to be here for 20 full days with me. How's your trip so far?
Excellent. Great. I've had a wonderful time.
I'm glad to hear that. How uncomfortable are you with this interview?
Terribly.
I see. Anything that you don't want to talk about, just let me know you want to move on, and we'll go on to the next thing.
Definitely.
Okay. So, let's start from the beginning. Where were you born?
Buffalo, New York.
In what hospital?
Sisters Hospital.
I see. Do you have any idea what weight you were, what time of day you were born?
No.
Okay. And then you were taken home right after? No complications?
No,
Nothing
I
wrong?
was a healthy baby girl.
Well, that's very nice. And what city did you live in first?
Buffalo, New York.
Oh, right in Buffalo was the
Right
first
in-
place.
Yes.
And how long did you live at that first home?
I think till I was 4.
Okay. Was it a house or an apartment?
It was a house.
And who did you live with?
My mother and father.
That's all?
I think my grandfather might have lived there.
Mm-hmm.
I was just very young, so I'm not sure.
Sure. No siblings yet?
No,
in the first
I
house?
was the firstborn.
Okay. And no aunts or uncles live there or anything like that?
No, just my mother's father, I believe.
Okay. What memories do you have of the house itself?
None.
Really? Not even your bedroom or
No.
a toy or anything?
No, I don't have any memories of that house at all.
Wow, that's interesting.
You
Okay.
think so?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think if I have any memories of the first 4 years. I do, because I remember Berryman.
Well, yeah. Do you really?
A couple things. What I remember from Berryman is Denise and Kim and I going down to the driveway and with paper bags collecting all the helicopters that fell off the tree.
But that wasn't your first house.
No, but that was before I was 5.
True.
So I'm just trying to think of that. We're talking about you, though.
Well, you brought that up, so
I
be
did.
careful where you lead this.
I see. Okay, so from 1 through 4, you have no memories of your house.
Not particularly.
What is your first memory?
The second house we lived in on Johnson Street.
Oh, no memories until the second house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My first memory is Nana Berger washing me in a sink, giving me a bath in a
That
sink.
was my mother, Grandma Gold.
Okay, I thought it was Nana Berger.
No.
I'm sure both of them did at some point.
She may... Probably not her. No, that
No,
was my
not Nana
mother.
Berger?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
Well, I was getting bathed in a sink, and I thought it was a different grandmother.
No, that was my mother.
I see.
You were very young, so...
Yeah.
That may be when you were older, but when you first came into our lives, that was my mother. She just absolutely adored you.
Oh,
You
well,
were
that's
this
nice.
adorable little red-headed, chubby little guy. She couldn't wait to get her hands on you.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that part of life in a little bit.
Okay.
So, what is the second house you moved in to?
That
How
was-
long did you live there?
We lived there. Let's see, not too long. Let's see, my brother is 4 years younger than I, so we lived there for several years.
Is having the second child what brought about the move?
I think so.
Mhm.
Yes.
And so, 4 years old, your brother was born. You moved to a new house.
Yeah, we didn't live there too long, but I do remember that house. It was a flat, and we lived in the back, and we had a lot of relatives. It was on Johnson Street.
Mhm.
A lot of relatives that lived on Johnson Street. Aunts and uncles,
Really?
cousins.
God, I know so few people from that side of the family.
They're all dead. They've been dead for a long time.
That's where this interview is going to go.
They're all gone.
I understand they are now, but I still don't have memories of them
No,
when
you
I was
wouldn't
younger.
have. They were all gone even before you came
Yeah.
into our lives.
Is there cancer in the family? Or?
No, they were just. My father was the third youngest of 15,
Oh, jeez. Okay.
and he was born in 1901.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some memories of them. There were a few that were alive into my early 20s, but by my mid 20s, late 20s, they had all passed.
So the second house you moved into, what memories do you have of that house? Is there a favorite room you had, or?
We lived in the back. They had flats in that at that point. There were like a flat in the front and a flat in the back. And I had a cousin that lived on the street. And I can remember they were tarring the street. They came down with blacktop, and I remember her and I watching them. That's where we first had a TV. It was a little black and white TV. I remember that.
Did you have a favorite show?
No, I don't remember being able to watch
Oh, I
particularly.
see.
Not until we got into the next house. That's the house we lived in when my eyes crossed.
And they stayed like that forever?
No, when I got tired, they would cross.
Okay.
As a child. Don't make fun.
No, that's what people say. If you cross your eyes, they're going to stay like that
No,
forever.
it was a medical condition.
Oh, I'm sorry. So these are the years between 5 to 9-ish, so that means you're going to school.
When I got to the next house, I never went to kindergarten.
You never went to kindergarten?
No.
So first grade was your first grade?
Mm-hmm.
And what school was it?
St. Matthews.
Oh,
So
a
we
Catholic
moved.
school?
We moved out of there to the new place. We lived in the projects on Ferry and Grider. That's where my brother was born.
Mm-hmm.
Bill.
Okay. And then you went to Catholic
St.
school?
Matthews. 12 years of Catholic high school.
Oh,
Catholic
okay.
school.
Catholic school.
Elementary, 1st through 8, 4 years of Catholic high school.
So for the 1st through 8, for the elementary school, did you have a favorite teacher that whole time? Or were they all horrible and had wooden rulers and smacked your...
the nuns were tough. The nuns were tough. They were all tough. Sister Donald, my 8th grade teacher, I liked her. I liked all of them. They were,
But did you have a favorite?
probably Sister Donald in 8th grade. I liked her the most. I would
Did
say.
she give you any life advice, or why did you like her?
No, not in particular. She wanted me to go to a particular Catholic school. My father didn't want me to go to that one. That one was more expensive and money was tight, so
So it wasn't the school itself, it was the money.
yeah, it was the money. Yeah.
And did your brother go to that school?
Oh, he went to St. Matthews for kindergarten
Uh-huh.
and 1st grade.
Why did he get to go to kindergarten?
I don't know. I don't know. He was asked to leave after 1st grade.
Oh, I can't believe kids like that.
Yeah, he was asked to leave. He got in a fight with another boy, and they knocked down the statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and it broke.
No wonder he liked me so much.
Yeah, so he was asked. He didn't go back.
I see. Where did he go to school?
Public school.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah, that's why it's the way he is.
So you had one favorite teacher, and what about friends while you were in elementary school? Did you have any real best friends?
Yeah,
or-
I had like 3 or 4 best friends. We went through
Who was your
grammar
best
school.
friend?
Probably, I would say throughout. Patty Schaefer, she was in my wedding.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you guys used to do together?
When we lived in the projects,
Yeah.
everybody played together.
What'd you do?
Everybody. Oh, we would ride bikes. When we were little, we played dolls. All the girls played dolls. We played jump rope. We would play tag. We would play all kinds of outdoor games. Nothing like kids play today.
Kick the can and stick ball and ride those bikes with the front wheel that's way too big?
No, we didn't have big wheels.
No. I'm making a reference as if you were born in 1900.
No.
You know those bikes with the front wheel that's like this
I
high?
don't recall those, Paul.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
No, we did all the things. No, we'd play outside till it was dark. We'd come in.
Hmm.
No, we just played outside all the time.
So these are all your elementary school years. How would you classify your home life during that time? As vague a terms as you want.
It was okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was sparse financially.
Mm-hmm.
My mother never worked. My father never wanted her to work.
Were you closer with your mom or your dad?
Closer with my father favored me over my brother, but I was closer with my mother.
Mm-hmm.
My father was very, very strict, as far as I was concerned.
Right.
Very strict. And my parents had a very strained relationship.
Hmm. And back then you didn't get divorced.
No. And he was very strict with very difficult. He was very hard on my brother. Very hard. They had a very strained relationship. Very strange. So when my brother was old enough, he joined the Marines and he left home.
So it wasn't a necessarily easy, supportive home life?
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. And so, you lived at that house through all of elementary school. Did you move before high school?
No, we moved, I think, when I was a junior in high school. They rented a flat not too far from where we lived.
So that means your brother was still in elementary school, or middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so you moved to this new house. How far away from the old house?
Maybe 4 or 5 blocks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you still had the same friends, same
yes,
neighborhood.
Right, same neighborhood.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, nothing changed.
And then in high school, how was your high school experience? Were you a good student?
I was pretty good. Yeah, I can't say I was great. I wasn't straight A's. I wasn't straight A's. I was not an athlete.
Did you play any sports in school?
I played badminton.
Uh-huh. Was there like an organized thing where you played other schools?
Yeah. No.
Oh, that's what I meant.
No. Paul,
What?
look at me.
People play sports.
They did, but I wasn't one of those.
Okay.
No. No, I was in a couple clubs, like art club and things like that, but no.
So through, now that we're in the high school years, when was your first date?
My father didn't like me to date.
Uh-huh. And we all know children never do things that their parents don't want them to do.
Not with my father. You did
Okay.
not do
So
any-
through all of high school, you never had a date?
No, there was a boy that my
Oh.
father allowed me to. I did go to a junior ring dance.
I'm sorry, a junior ring dance?
Yes.
What is a junior ring dance?
When you were a junior, when you became a senior, you would get your senior ring, but you got it as a junior.
Mm-hmm.
So because this was a neighborhood boy, you don't have to bring that a whole lot.
Well, I'm
closer.
worried a little bit about the volume, so I'm just...
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So yes, I did go. I guess you could
Junior
call
ring
it-
dance.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a dance.
So it's like, I know prom, I know homecoming. What is
It's
a junior ring
similar
dance?
to that,
Okay.
same time thing. The nuns were there, so
So you had a dance like this?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so that was pretty much it. There was no dating.
Okay.
Dad did not like you to date.
So, before you graduated high school, had you ever kissed a boy?
Yes,
Was it that boy?
probably must have been because I don't think
You don't know?
I don't think there were many others.
You don't know who your first kiss was?
I think that's probably what it was.
Okay. Was it the dance? Or some other time?
I can't remember.
You don't remember your first
Wasn't
kiss?
too exciting.
I guess not.
I guess not. No.
I'm sorry.
I know.
I wish you had a very exciting one. Let's see. So I have some notes here. So I'm going to be looking down a little bit.
I can't wait.
So this is all high school stuff and what your mind frame was when you were in high school. At that point in time, had you had any alcohol or drugs at all before you graduated high school?
No drugs
Okay.
whatsoever. None.
Yeah. And had you tried alcohol?
There was the only alcohol in our house was whiskey. It was Seagram 7.
Very specific.
Yeah, that's the only thing that was in our house.
Did you try it, do you think?
I might have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably
But no big
did.
parties that you remember, or you went and snuck out and had some alcohol with friends? Apparently, you had a very non-memorable high school
My
time.
father was extremely strict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. I might have.
So you weren't the type to sneak out and try
no,
to...
there was a couple times, like there were some dances like downtown. I can remember going to some of those, and some of the kids would have some sneak some stuff in, and yeah, I can remember doing stuff like that.
Okay.
But nothing, crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so while you're in high school, before you graduated, what did you think life was going to be like when you graduated? What did you want to do for a living? Did you just want to get married and have kids? What
No,
was
I
life
wanted
like?
to go to college.
Did you have something you wanted to go for?
I wanted to be a nurse.
Okay.
But my dad was not well, and then he lost his eyesight.
Mm-hmm.
So financially, they were really strapped. So I ended up getting a job to help support them.
So while you're finishing up high school, you know that college and other things aren't really going to be a reality.
Yeah,
It's
it
going
was
to be
gonna be
working to
tough.
help them.
I started working in high school when I was a freshman
Mm-hmm.
to help. He wasn't well. He had not been well for a long time. So I was working as a freshman. I worked for this family that lived on, oh God, what was it? East Morris, West Morris, off of Main Street.
Uh-huh.
I was like a little, a nanny. I'd go after school and help take care of the kids and help with dinner. And then,
Your mom didn't get a job during that time?
no, he would not let her work.
Yeah.
There was a short time she did work, but that didn't last very long. He didn't like that.
Mhm.
So I worked all through high school. And so I kind of knew that college was not going to work at that time. So after I graduated, I got a job at, I applied at the phone company
At what age?
right after high school.
So 18?
I wasn't even 18 when I applied, but I was 18 when I got hired. And I was there
So were you living at home when you started at the phone company? And how long did you stay at home for?
till I got married.
Okay, well, I guess we'll backtrack from that day. So when did you meet my father?
I met your father that very summer.
After graduating?
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember that very well?
Yes, pretty well. I was, my mom had a friend. Her name was Rosie Holtzberg. She had known her, God, growing up, I think, from the old neighborhood. Rosie and her husband had a jewelry store on Broadway, Holtzberg's Jewelers.
Is his dad's last name really Holtzberg?
No. Your father's last name was Smith. Oh.
I'm wondering where this is going.
Well, this was my mother's friend, Rosie Holtzberg. She had a daughter named Nancy.
Okay.
And Nancy and I became friends, and they had a cottage up at Crystal Beach. And your father's grandmother had a cottage up at Thunder Bay. And if I remember correctly, Nancy knew someone that a boy that your father knew, if I remember this correctly. Somehow we all got together and met at a coffee shop in Crystal Beach.
You met him in Canada?
I met him in Canada.
Wow, okay. Was going up to Canada regular for you? Because I know it was for Dad all growing up.
No, it wasn't. Not at that time.
Yeah.
No. So that's how we met.
Wow. So it was like a double date, a blind date?
No, we just happened to be at the same place at the same time.
Okay. And what were your feelings about him when you met him?
Well, this is kind of like the first person I really met. He was nice. I liked him.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was your first date with him?
That's a tough one.
Okay. How did you contact each other after that day?
Oh, I think he called me.
Okay. So did you give him your number, or did it go through friends?
Yeah, no, he
Oh,
called
so it
me.
went well.
Yeah, no, he was very nice. I liked him a lot. No, we had a lot in common. We started talking. His father was a, well, they like to call themselves back then chauffeurs, but they were really taxi cab drivers. So as we were talking, he goes, I said, what does your dad do? He goes, oh, he's a chauffeur. I go, oh, a taxi cab driver? He goes, well, yeah. He goes, what does your father do? I said, oh, he's a chauffeur too. He goes, oh, a taxi cab driver? I said, yeah. So that was kind of, funny. So that kind of broke the ice.
And you don't remember your first date?
I can't remember where we went.
What is one of your more memorable dates in your early part of your relationship?
Oh, well, he'd take me out for nice dinners and, restaurants and things like that. There was a place called John's Flaming Hearth, and I remember he took me there. That was a really nice place. Military Road, I think. Nice steakhouse. We went there.
So this is the summer after you graduated, so you're 18. How old are you when you get married?
We got married in 1969, so I was 20.
So you dated for about 2 years.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No.
Okay. Were you pregnant when you got married?
No.
Whoa. That was a quick answer.
My father would, growing up, my father was he was not a well man. And it would be, I hope to see you I can remember him saying, I hope I live to see you make your first communion. I hope I live to see you make your confirmation. I hope I live to see you walk down the aisle in a white wedding dress. He always had these little,
Yeah.
No, I lived at home till I got married. No.
So you went right from home to being married and living with someone else again? No roommate experience or living by yourself experience?
No, I tried that roommate experience. I said, Dad, my friends are getting an apartment. And no.
Okay. So you get married, and how much longer until you have Denise?
We got married in April. In November, he joined the Army Reserve. He was still going to school, to UB. November, he was sent away for 6 months active duty. He came home in 70. And Denise was born in March of 71.
Oh, okay. And so, how did you find out you were pregnant?
Well, you just kind of know those things.
Okay. Did you go to the doctor and get a test?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay. And so, what are you feeling? You're newly
I
married?
was ecstatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not so sure if he was quite as ecstatic as me.
Right.
You know.
I think he was a good person, just kind of a little selfish, and he is not a father. I don't think he wanted fatherhood.
I don't think so either. I don't, and it's not that
And he didn't push it away, and he wasn't.
No,
but he
I
didn't
just
want it.
don't think that was. We had talked about. I don't think we seriously talked about having children. I think it just kind of happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know how sometimes you plan it out.
Yeah.
I don't think it
Well,
worked out
I know
way.
that theory. I've never talked to anyone that actually planned it out.
Well, no. Sometimes you say, "No, I want to be married for a certain
Oh,
amount of
I gotcha.
time, and then we'll plan on, let's plan on having a child."
So when you talked about it, what were those conversations like? Let's see how the next couple of years go, and then we'll talk about it.
Well,
Type
I
of
don't
things.
think we ever had those conversations.
Not even that deep.
No, I think it just he came home and it just happened, and
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted a boy so badly that we had the room painted blue.
What was Denise's name going to be if she was a boy?
We never talked about names.
Oh, really?
No.
Aw, that would have been fun.
So when we picked on Denise, I'm thinking maybe he was going towards Dennis, but we never talked about that. But everything was blue. He wanted a boy so bad, and I know he was, but he was happy. He was.
Yeah.
And you can look at pictures of Denise, and you can talk to Denise, and she'll tell you, "Why did you always dress me in blue?"
I see. Okay, so you had Denise, and then 2 years later, you have Kim.
Mm-hmm.
And was that more planned?
Yeah, that was more planned. Yeah,
Because he wanted a boy?
he wanted a boy.
So let's try again, and let's see if we can have a boy.
We didn't have a boy.
Yeah.
No, another girl.
Okay, and then what is your recollection of the conversation about finding out about me? Because I'm adopted, by the way.
Yes, you are adopted. Yes, you are.
Was that an ongoing conversation, or was that a
No, it was a
spur of the moment?
spur of the moment.
Let's get to the important stuff, me.
Yeah, I kind of figured this was going to be it.
Oh, really?
He came home one day and said, "How would you like to have a little boy?" So I'm thinking maybe he would like to try to have.
Yeah,
a
you've
little
had that
boy.
conversation before.
Right? Because he's always wanted a boy. He truly did want a boy.
Mhm.
So I thought, sure. Well, I know somebody that has a little boy that would like to put him up for adoption. I go, so my head like spun around. I go, what? How do you just don't know people like this, Well, yeah, there's this woman at work and her daughter has a baby and they can't take, the,
So at this point, Dee's about 4 and Kim's about 2.
yeah. Her daughter's very young and she's immature and, I work full time and she's not taking care of him properly and she's just too young and we can't, we just can't handle it. I said, well, tell me a little bit about this little boy. Well, I think you were maybe 8 months old at the time. I said, well, it's like, I think we should meet him first, So, your grandparents brought you over, Shirley, and I don't remember Shirley's husband's name. Do you remember?
Nope.
I don't remember either. It was rather emotional, to have somebody come over with this baby that could possibly be yours. And you were this little, chubby little blonde baby.
How dare you?
Well, you were, and you were crawling all over, and, it's like, it was just an odd experience, that,
Very few people will ever have that experience.
yes, like, do you want this baby? And they left, and, we talked it over, and
They left with me.
yes, they left with you. And we talked it over, and I don't know, I guess he must have gone back to work and talked to her, and, what do you think about us? And, Denise and Kim were little babies themselves, and, of course, another little baby, they were just thrilled. So we...
Oh, they sure were. Another baby to dress up.
I know, and they dressed you up. So we were, yes, okay, all right, we will do this. So it was on your birthday. No, it wasn't. No, it was
No, it's not.
May 28th.
Yeah.
May 28th, they came over, and your mom, who I will call Tina because that's who she was at that time, they all came over. with your playpen and all your clothes and your toys, and they came over, and I can cry now thinking about it
Why cry?
because it was so emotional.
Yeah. Happy? So it was only about a month from the first conversation until you decided to adopt me?
Mm-hmm.
So I know Dad really, really wanted a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you want to adopt me?
Well, it was something he wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and it was much easier than 9 months pregnancy.
So you thought.
So I thought. Little did I know. Oh, so there we were with this little boy. I said, what kind of a schedule does he have? You know, what time does he go to bed? Does he? No, he doesn't take naps. I go, he doesn't take naps. No. Well, when does he go to bed? He's pretty much. He doesn't have a schedule at all. Like, oh my God. Because I said, okay. What does he eat? Because you were only 9 months old. Oh, he eats everything. Is
See,
he
it's
like
not
on-
my fault.
I said, is he on any kind of formula or milk? Or oh no, he eats and drinks everything. He loves spaghetti. I go, oh my God. Okay. So they left. We had to get a lawyer, obviously, and you got, you know, and social services got involved, and they would come out to the house, and
Yeah.
you know, they would come unannounced and inspect the house and you and the whole, you know, 9 yards. And I said, holy God. So anyway, you were a handful.
Yeah.
Yes, you were. We would put you to bed when we thought, you know, put the girls to bed, put you to bed. You'd climb right out of the crib. We had to put a lock on the outside of the bedroom door to keep you in there, because if we didn't, you'd come climbing down the stairs. You would cry.
Are you saying that Denise and Kim might have been a little bit easier of a child than me?
Well, because they were raised with a schedule, you know, like you'd put them to bed.
I was
they-
only
you know,
10 months old. I couldn't have been.
You were like left to roam. I don't know, but anyway, you adjusted and you did great, and I mean, you were fine. You know, my mother absolutely adored you. She couldn't wait to see you. The first thing she did when she got you was put you in the bathtub and wash you and wash your hair and clean you up, and she had bought clothes for you, and she just loved you.
It's very sweet.
She loved you. She did. And your father was happy. He had a little boy.
I played sports, did all the boy things.
You did.
Wanted to be a stuntman.
Yes, you did want to be a stuntman, and you did a few stunts yourself.
I sure did.
Yes, you did.
So, when I was 5, you and Dad got divorced.
Yes.
What was that decision like when you're finally, whatever the situation was, when you made the decision, I need to do this, but then you're going to be a single mom with 3 kids? What was that decision like?
That was hard. It was scary.
Yeah, that'd be
It
horribly
was
scary.
very scary. Yep. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. My mother died in 1979, December. She died December 20th. And my brother was living out in California with his wife Karen, and she was pregnant with her first son, well, her only son, Sean. And so we had to get a hold of them. My brother Bill was actually visiting. He wasn't visiting. He came up because I don't know. I'm getting confused. Let me back up. My mother had heart problems, and both my parents had heart problems, and she had had a heart attack in November and had been in the hospital. And she came home right after Thanksgiving, and she stayed with me for a few weeks, but she wanted to get back home because my father was he had many heart attacks. So December 20th, Denise was supposed to go over. I was supposed to take her over that night, and she was going to make cookies with my mother. and I get a call at work that they'd taken her to the hospital. She had a heart attack. So she died that night. So I had to get a hold of my brother who was in California. So,
Now you said that she had had problems. Was this almost expected or?
no,
No.
this was unexpected.
Okay.
So, and that was my father's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And my father, I think his mind was starting to go. So he was really upset, the fact that she died on his birthday. So by the time my brother got here and we were able to have the funeral and the wake and everything, we didn't bury her until Christmas Eve that morning. So then Christmas Day, we went to Mickey's grandmother's, Grandma Berger's. We spent the day there. And then the next day, he wanted everything taken out of the house that was hers. Everything. Clothes, everything. Just get rid of it all. Everything had to go out of the house. So that was that. So that was 1980. And then I think we got divorced that December. Yeah. It was a very difficult time. And then he and I had been having problems before that. So it was a lot that went on, a whole lot that went on. It was a very stressful time. So we got divorced and I bought the townhouse in Lancaster.
Parkview Court?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's the first time I had ever been on my own.
That had to be very scary.
It was. But that's the summer I took the three of you and we went to Disney.
So I hear.
Mm-hmm. I know. We did. Yep. We went to Disney. And we went to Disney. We went to Universal. We didn't get lost. We made it back home in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did.
And you felt a little better about life?
I did. Yep. I knew I could take care of myself and I'd take care of the kids. Yep.
And it was less than 2 years later that you decided to get remarried. So
1983.
yeah. So what was there any trepidation about getting married again?
Well, I told Marv when I had known him through work, but just talking on the phone and things like that. And then I had met him like out at a party or something late, middle of 81, I think it was, something like that. And and when we started dating, I had said to him, I said, look, you have to understand one thing. He had first of all, he had a colorful vocabulary. And I said, if you're going to be around my kids, you cannot talk like that. And secondly, you have to understand one thing, that my children will come first no matter what. Not that I don't love you, but they will always come first. So, and he had 2 daughters, and I would hope that he felt the same way. So yes, it was a little scary because I had, for the first time in my life, I had realized that I could take care of myself and my kids.
Yeah.
And I didn't need anybody to lean on. I was self-sufficient.
And you can never know that until it happens.
Right. I had a good job. Financially, I could take care of myself. So, yeah, it was a big step
Yeah, it's a
because
big
I
deal.
didn't want to become dependent on anybody again.
Mhm.
So, but we worked things out. We had a great marriage. We did.
Well, I'm very thankful that you had him.
Me too.
And I'm very thankful I had him. I cry every time I talk about him.
I know. Don't cry, because then you make me cry. Don't do that. Because he loved you. Stop it. Maybe I should have had some wine.
I told you to. So, so you got remarried.
Yes, I did.
Got the house on William Street that I spent the rest of my childhood with.
Yep.
So things are going along, and your children are growing up.
Yeah, they all left me.
So
But some of them came back. They all came. Eventually, they all came back.
that's right.
Yes.
So
Like a
as we were growing up, as we were in our high school years,
Yep.
what did you think of our prospects at life? Who did you think was definitely going to make it? Who were you really scared about?
Well, I don't know. You know,
Oh, you know.
you all had different tracks.
Uh-huh. Let's start with Denise.
Oh my God.
So Denise is going through high school. She's getting ready to graduate. What do you think her life's going to be like? 'Cause
Well,
she's been with Matt forever
she
already
had been
by
with
then.
Matt forever, but then her and Matt broke up senior year.
No, we
and-
don't talk about that.
Yeah, they did. Why?
I don't know. I'm just
they-
joking.
They did.
Yes.
I thought, what the heck? Matt, Marv and I were devastated. We loved Matt.
That's great.
And even at graduation, I remember hugging Matt and saying, oh my God, I can't believe this. What's going on? But they eventually came to their senses and got back together.
Figured out no one else would want him.
Nobody else would want them, and they're back together again.
Yeah.
And
But as she's being a senior, what do you think her life is going to be like as an adult? She's
Well,
about to go
she was
be an
gonna.
adult.
She had plans. She had said she was going to go to ECC,
Mm-hmm.
and Matt was going to go to ECC. But later, I found out that they rarely went to ECC. Apparently, they spent a lot of time at Matt's mother's house doing, I don't know what, and I don't want to know what. And
I may have skipped school and gone there once or twice.
yeah, I think you may have. God knows. And then Matt eventually went in the army. So
But I want to talk about before that. So
before
as
that,
Dee's in high school, what do you think her life as an adult's going to be like?
well,
Were you were confident, like, she's going to make it, she's totally gone, or were you a little worried about her?
I never worried about any of you what your life was going to be like because
Hey.
because I have no control over that. I mean, I hoped the best for you.
So maybe worry wasn't the right word. What were your
No.
thoughts of what was most likely to happen?
You can't, but you can't predict those
Of
things.
course you can't, but that doesn't mean you don't have an opinion about it.
Well,
when you raised
you-
us, you know
well,
us as human beings. You
you-
had to have more or less confidence about what it
You
was.
do the best you can.
Mhm.
You instill what you hope
Yes.
are the right influences, that you've taught them right from wrong, that they'll make the right choices.
And after you do all that,
Then you
they're
you
18
s-
and about to graduate, and they are a certain type of person.
and then you say a prayer that they don't go out there and fall flat on their face.
Uh-huh.
And at that point,
So that you had no differentiation between all three of us. You just thought, they'll all probably do good. We'll see what happens.
well, Kim wanted to go to college, so I knew that's where she was going to go. Denise said she wanted to go to ECC. That's where she wanted to go. What direction you were going to go in, I wasn't sure. I truly wasn't. I didn't know which way you were going to go.
What were the options?
Well, I knew you were smart. I knew you were very smart. However, you were very opinionated. So, and sometimes that would work against you. So I didn't know how that was going to affect you once you got out of school. I mean, I know the day I got called into school and all your teachers wanted to talk to me at the same time, I thought, whoa. So, and like I said, at that point in time, it's up, once you're out on your own, it's up to you what you make of it.
It is.
You can't.
So it was just completely 50-50. All three of us could have made it, could have not. You had no idea.
I had no idea.
Okay.
No. I mean, I knew Kim was going to college. Does that mean she's going to make it? No, because you don't know what could happen. And Denise, her and Matt, senior year, they break up. Who knew? I had no idea what was going to happen.
And when I graduated?
Who knew?
Uh,
I
let's
knew
see.
you weren't going to school.
I went to school.
I mean, like Kim was going to
Oh,
college.
college.
Yeah.
I did go to college.
I mean, you didn't have a plan to go to 4-year school.
No.
No. All
No.
right. What other
Oh,
questions?
so those are all stories and, a general tale of life. So we have some direct questions for you.
Okay.
Let's see here. Da-da-da. Trying to read my own writing.
Yeah, you've always had crappy writing.
Why were you named Mary Jane?
From what I remember, I was named after my mother's mother. Her name was Mary Jane.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
I
easy.
never cared for my name. was a candy, it was a shoe. But now
It was other things.
yeah, but yeah. That stuff that you sell here in Seattle.
Who? I don't know about any of that. All right, so that's interesting. Let's see here. Oh, where were you for 9/11?
I was at 95 Tremont, sitting at my desk, training a class to go out on the floor. Denise was already working in that office. She comes in the room and she goes, "Mom, there was a plane just crashed in one of the Twin Towers in Manhattan." And everybody just thought it was just a freaky accident.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a small TV in the office. I said, "Oh my God, that's awful." We turned, and it was lousy reception on this TV. And we turned it on, and we were watching it. And then I don't remember the exact amount of time. And then the next one hit. And that's all we did for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
We were just,
So you were at work when it happened?
yeah, just unbelievable. It was one of the saddest days of my whole
Mhm.
life. I think that's all we did for the next several days.
Oh yeah.
That's all
anyone
anybody
did. Just flip back between the channels.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I love my questions. These are great. All right, your 3 children. We're going to start with Denise. Same question for all of them. When you look at Denise, what is the thing in her that reminds you most of you? What did she get from you that she?
What did she get from me?
You know what I mean.
What did she get from me? What did she get from me?
She's not like you in any way, shape, or form.
No, she is.
Apparently
No.
not.
No, she is. These are hard things to pin down.
Wow, this is the hardest question in the
No,
universe.
this is tough because I look at her.
You know you raised her, right?
I know I did.
Okay.
I know I did.
She might have gotten something from you.
I know I did. She's very.
This is great.
No, it's. I don't mean to make this so difficult. It's hard to put these things into words.
Okay.
She has a way of, like, I watch her with her kids. And I watch the way she talks to them. And I watch how much, and these aren't tangible things that you can just see, but I see how much she loves her kids. And I know how much I love my kids. And she's a very loving mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hope that that's something that she might have gotten from me. And she's very, and I watch her with Emily. And when Emily was growing up, her and Emily were like oil and water, you know? But now, and that's nothing like, I mean, that wasn't me and either of the girls, but it's just, she's a very loving mother. And I hope that I was perceived that way. I think the way she treats her kids, I hope that's something she got from me. And Kimberly, I sometimes tended to I would start to do something I see Kimberly, and I would start doing something, and I didn't know when to stop.
Can you give an example? I'm not sure what you mean.
I would be working out, let's say I'm working outside or I'm doing something in the house, and rather than putting it off and finishing it at another time, I would just keep going and going and going until I got it done. And I see Kimberly doing the same thing.
Okay. So her tenacity.
Yeah, and I tell her, Kimberly, there's always tomorrow. And I have to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
I go, no, you don't have to get it done. And Denise, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. She knows when to stop.
She'll wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, she'll wait till tomorrow. I'm a napper. Both girls are nappers. We love to nap. You love to nap.
It's in the family.
Comes in the family.
I remember very vividly a day in Parkview Court, all of us taking a nap on the same bed together.
Oh, God, yeah. Nap? Oh, my God.
And so, what about me? If you can use Marv as an example if you want. If you think it was more of a guy thing.
More of a guy thing?
Yeah.
I remember
Something you see in me that I got from him.
Marv was a very emotional man. And I think maybe you got some of that from him. He was one of the few men, like my father was not emotional, your father was not emotional. Marv was very emotional. He was, we would sit and watch a movie, and if it was a touching movie, he would cry. And I see that in you. I think you're a very compassionate person. And I think maybe you got some of that from him. I know you meant a lot to him. You really did. And I think you got some of that from him. I know. I think maybe you're the boy he never had.
Wish I was better.
No, I think you should be very proud of yourself, Paul. I told you, you've come a long way. I told you, you climbed a lot of those mountains.
It's been a very interesting life.
Yes, it has. Look where you've ended up.
Mm-hmm. Should point the camera that way. It's gorgeous.
I know. I know. It's beautiful.
Well, that was a good question then. Since I have it in here, I didn't know if I wanted to ask it, but what is your best memory of Marv since we...
Oh, God. Jesus.
Just something fun or goofy, or just your best memory. You want to go on something else?
No.
Okay.
I'll get it out.
It's okay.
We both said, when he was sick, we were together 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Morning till night. And some of the things that happened during those 7 by 24 were just sometimes off the wall, crazy things that we ended up having to do. But those probably were the days we'd sit in the bedroom. He'd be in his bed and I'd sit in his wheelchair. And we would watch TV, and then we'd have lunch, And we'd watch TV and we'd laugh. And then before you know it, it's time for dinner. And God, we never got out of that room. I think, oh my God, you gotta go. I have to. You had to take a shower. And we would. They were the best. Some of the best times because we just would talk about everything and anything. And people just sometimes don't get to do that. Especially when you know.
So just the time together and talking about everything.
Everything. Everything and anything. About the kids, about our kids, the grandkids, about the dogs, about everything. About what you hope might happen.
Well, I'm glad you had those times.
Me too. Yep. There was a time we had to go to Home Depot, and we had the handicap van with the ramp, and the wheelchair had to fit right between the ramp, and if you didn't fit it in there, you'd get hung up. And he could be stubborn, and he could move his thumb. He goes, I can get the wheelchair out of here, and it's snowing. Fine, go ahead, you do it. And doesn't he get it hung up? And we're in the middle of the Home Depot parking lot. And I looked at him. I said, God damn it, now what are we going to do? Because you're stuck and I can't lift this wheelchair. And I am not making this up. This person came from nowhere. I don't know where he came from. He came over and said, can I help you? He picked up the wheelchair, got it on the ramp, wheeled him down. And by the time we turned around, he was gone. So, make what you want of it. Was it an angel? I don't know. He was gone. So
for anyone that doesn't know, my stepdad got ALS and had to be in a wheelchair at the end. Okay, we'll get some easy questions and some fun questions. Well, there's a question I thought was an easy one, but I might make it sad again. I was going to ask, what do you wish you did more of in your life?
Oh my God, I wish I would have been braver and tried more things.
Yeah. Well, we're getting all that in this week. We're trying all of the things.
Yeah. I wish I would have tried more things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is a good one. Let's see. So many deep questions. I don't think we're done with the deep questions in here.
Good Lord.
If you could do it all again and just career-wise and do a different career, what would you want to do for your whole career? A whole life of jobs?
You know...
So you wanted to be a nurse.
I did.
Now that you know what that really entails, would that have been a career you wanted?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Because taking care of Marv was one thing, because he's your husband and you love him. I don't know if I would have been able to do that.
Yeah.
I wonder. I was really happy with what I did.
Okay. It's not, you don't have a doggy daycare?
Well.
For a whole career?
You know, I don't know. Doggy daycare.
So you're pretty happy with your career?
I was happy.
Okay. What makes you laugh?
Oh my God. Stupid comedy TV shows. Those two dogs that you have are hysterical. Just life in general. I mean, when I was out with Nicole the other night, there were these two ladies, two older ladies, sitting on this chair next to us. And they were obviously waiting for the last act to come on. Mm-hmm. And they were sitting there for the first two acts reading a book. But when that last act came on, they knew every single word that guy was reading. I mean, they just made me laugh. Okay. I mean, life in general is just, if you look around...
You like people watching.
I love people watching.
Yes.
I can just sit and watch people and get a chuckle out of it.
So, on this video that's going to go up on YouTube and everywhere in the universe,
Please.
Is there anything you've never told anyone that you want to reveal to the world?
No.
Okay.
There's
That was
more on
easy.
here that I ever wanted to reveal to anyone.
Okay. Do you have a favorite book?
A favorite book.
Are you a big reader?
I do like to read, but once I read it, I'm pretty much done. Like, I don't usually go back and read a book again.
Yeah, I feel similar about movies in that there's some that are hugely memorable that I love,
Right,
but
right.
I've seen so many of them and I really enjoy them, and then I kind of,
My favorite movie is The Birdcage.
I
I
guess
could
it
watch
is.
that over and over and over.
with Robin Williams.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite record from when you were growing up? Did you have one that you just played ad nauseum?
Not in particular, no.
Oh, okay.
No. Mm-mm.
What is your best memory of Paul?
Of you? Oh, I
The
don't-
best memory. That's a good thing.
The funniest memory?
Sure.
It was something you did as a baby.
Okay.
I
Was
mean,
it? Did it involve Crisco?
It did.
Okay, we won't go into that.
Sure,
is-
you don't want me to share that one.
You can feel free. But
No, it's okay.
What is the thing that you love most about yourself?
About me? I think that I'm not judgmental. I feel I'm not judgmental. I don't.
That's interesting
judge
from a people watcher.
Yes, but I'm not. I don't. I like to watch people. I enjoy watching people, but I try not to judge people. I just because I like to watch people, it doesn't mean I look at them and say, "Oh my God, they're whatever." I don't.
So you're
Just
not
because
judgmental.
you're
I'm
dressed
just messing
poorly,
with
that
you.
doesn't mean you're a slob or, no. And I try.
So
to,
not being judgmental is what you like most about yourself.
Yeah, and I try to be fair. I don't. No.
Okay. So we will end with the questions from your daughters.
Oh God.
Um,
And if they had questions, they should have just asked me themselves.
we kind of went over this a little, and we went over so much it's hard to say we didn't. So Denise would like to know a quick favorite trait of all your children. We went over the traits that they got from you, but what's your favorite trait of Denise? What's your favorite thing about her as a human being?
A favorite trait?
Yeah.
Denise?
Yeah.
Trait?
Right. Like for me, it'd be my good looks. So for Denise, what's your favorite trait? Like if someone never met Denise before, said, "Tell me about your daughter." What's the first positive thing you'd say about her?
She has a beautiful smile.
Okay. And what about Kim? If no one never met Kim before, said, "Tell me about Kim." What's your favorite thing about Kim?
I love her eyes.
And your son.
Oh, well,
Nose.
obviously.
Where we go?
What?
Well, you
Your
said
nose?
smile and eyes. I just.
Well, I love your hair.
Oh, okay. The red hair. Okay. Denise would also like to know. Do you have any advice for your children?
To always be honest.
Ooh, that's horrible. That's bad advice.
No, that's true. Always be honest. Always.
Hmm.
Don't lie. Just tell the truth, no matter what. I tell that to my grandkids. Don't lie.
Do you have a top 5 bucket list of things you want to do? Do you have a bucket list?
I wouldn't say it's really a bucket list.
Just different things that
Yeah, just
They're
some
out there.
things I'd like to do, but I've
there's
been,
not anything you're like, man, if I died next week, I wish I would have done this today.
no. I mean, I've been so fortunate.
Yeah.
I really have. I've traveled. I've seen so many wonderful things. I've been around the world. Not around the.
You've been around the world.
I've been around the world. I've seen so many wonderful things that. I mean, there
So
are.
you don't feel incomplete because there's something you're missing.
No,
There's no bucket list that you have to get done.
no. I mean, I don't want to jump out of an airplane. I've already done that. I'd like to be able to take Emily to Europe. I promised her I would do that.
She's already been there. Don't worry about her.
I know, but this was her graduation thing. I'd like to be able to do that. No, I mean.
Okay, no, that's
know.
good enough. I That's good.
Yeah, no.
Kimberly would like to know,
Oh, God.
what is one thing you would do differently as a parent if you had to do it again?
As a parent?
Yep.
Well,
Nothing. You were perfection.
no. I tried not to be overly strict. I don't think I was really strict.
So you wish you would have been a little more strict?
No, I never wanted to, like, you know, hit my thumb on you guys.
You can just say, I have 3 great kids, so I think everything was cool.
I do. I mean, when I think about it, I was never, you know, I never snooped in your drawers.
Oh, that's bad parenting.
I never did things like that. I always trusted you guys. I don't know. I don't think I would have done anything different. I trusted you guys completely. I think you guys turned out pretty damn well.
I think so too. Took some longer than others, but we sure did.
I'm happy the way you all are. I'm proud of each and every one of you for all your different quirks and traits and the things you've accomplished, and you've all got wonderful families and great kids or dogs or whatever, and I couldn't ask for anything more.
Okay. Well, that's perfect.
I'm very lucky. I've had a wonderful life.
So Kim's other question that she
Oh,
wanted me to
she's
ask you. She had 2. They said 2 or 3. She wanted to know, is there anything you wish you would have asked or told your parents while they were still here?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if that's what she meant by your reaction.
I wish I would have been able to been a stronger person with my father. I wish I
Yeah.
could have been more assertive.
Yeah.
I wish I would have been able to, I wish I could have stood up to him
Yeah.
and
That's hard.
even defended my mother more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was just,
It's hard for a child,
yeah,
no matter what age.
yeah. Even as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I would have been a stronger person. I do. But, you know, back in 1960, early 60s, mid 60s, even after graduating from high school, that's just the way it was. You just did not do that.
Yeah.
At least the way I was raised, you didn't.
No, it's very hard to.
Yeah, no.
So we've gone for over an hour. So, my last question. Well, I have to ask a question. Ask the question. How many grandchildren do you have?
9.
You have 9 grandchildren.
Well, I have 2. I haven't met the 9th one.
You haven't met Taylor yet.
No.
So, out of the 9 grandchildren, who's making you a great grandmother first?
God only knows.
You don't have any prediction.
Well, I've chatted with Andrew about it, who told me he has a plan.
He is the oldest.
He is, but that doesn't mean anything.
So you don't have any prediction of who's going to make you a
No,
great
I
grandmother?
would definitely not predict that. No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Why? Do you know something?
no, I don't.
Oh,
Well, you are a great mom.
Thank
and I'm
you.
lucky to have you.
thank you. I'm lucky to have you for my son.
I'm lucky you adopted me. I'm lucky you married Marv. I'm
Me
lucky to
too.
have you in my life. And I'm happy you're here.
I am too.
Thank you for doing this.
I'll be sad to go home. God, I don't know why you made me do this, but
Because I love you.
I love you too.